the role of the African American musician has been inseparable from the experience of African Americans broadly, in terms of our constant fight for equity
Yes.
and equality. And so I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about how you are feeling in this time. Um, Obviously, purpose helps in a time like this, and you've got a fantastic purpose.
Yeah.
But I'd just love to hear some thoughts, and maybe even just you express your feelings about how you're
Yeah.
feeling about yourself at this moment. We both are parents. We both have, boys, black
Yep.
boys. Like, just I don't know. I don't even know what I'm. Like as soon as I
Yeah.
go there, I lose my eloquence. Right, as soon as we hit this topic, because it is largely emotional.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
just wanted to give you the floor to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, as you know, as you pointed out, I've got two boys. They're young men, and I'm afraid for them. Not to mention being afraid for myself and for you. I mean, like this is serious. I mean, when you've got vigilantes shooting folks because they think maybe he robbed somebody's house down the block, or when you've got a police officer putting his knee on a man's neck while he's saying "I can't breathe," and disregarding that with impunity, you can't do anything but be afraid and concerned. I've often thought and said, I get frustrated about the politics of it sometimes. And my approach to my career, has always been to address these things. I think economic justice, economic equality is really ultimately what levels the playing field, and so it makes me want to fight harder for economic parity, which is a very difficult thing to do, but you work hard, and it's not even about the money to buy nice things, right? It's about the money to influence, or the ability to influence society and influence culture. Um, and then, as you point out, I mean, purpose is important, and I've always taught my boys that that they can do what they want to do. They should do what they love. They should do what they're passionate about, because that's where the purpose lies. But also relative to this museum, we intentionally set the stage in this museum as much a history institution as a music institution, and we did that on purpose, because we don't want to just celebrate the music that somebody made because that's a cool song or one of my favorites or a dope rap or whatever. That's interesting, but what's more important is the context out of which it came from. What is the story that artist is trying to tell, and what's the environment or the culture that story came out of? And I really see this museum as much an educational center, an entertainment center, but also a social justice center. So the fact that we are telling this story that many in Nashville don't know and have forgotten, and many around the country have never been told before, to the extent that many people, the majority, 70+% in this country, think that the world revolves around them and their skin color and their culture, and that African Americans have been largely marginalized and have not made a contribution and have been living off of the largesse of others, is patently false, inaccurate, and blasphemous.